Third fight of the night getting started now. Sure to be action-packed.
Blane Wallace versus Chris Keeton here at, what are we at, 145 pounds?
You can already see Blane Wallace has a very good understanding of his range. His feet are perfect. He's right at range with his jab. Very educated so far. Looking good, in and out motion.
One of the things you see with these young guys, you want to look at not necessarily their skill. We know he's got high accolades, a lot of training, is their composure. That really makes and breaks a fighter. It doesn't matter how much you know, it's whether or not you can control it.
Agreed. Nice level change by Chris Keeton, and he establishes a nice takedown here. Let's see if he can get to work on top.
Blane Wallace seems to be neutralizing it, keeping control.
I like how Blane's working to get up instantly. You know, that to me shows a high fight IQ and an understanding of if I'm on my back, I'm losing. It's something that I'm always preaching to my guys, and I appreciate seeing that.
To see the patience, though, out of such a young fighter, though, to do it slowly.
High-level action from both of these young men.
You see a lot of the young guys, they waste a lot of energy exploding, but he's being very methodical here, it seems like.
Like we were talking about before the fight, look at how this guy is built. I mean, he is long.
Yes, Chris
Not sure what happened
is
there.
a specimen. 145 pounds, but he's strapped.
I guess that was an eye poke.
Not sure what it was. Might have been, let's see.
Nice sharp jab from Blane Wallace. Good feet. Obviously has some type of boxing acumen. D-Rock's gym, they box out there.
D-Rock's got those
Nice
heavy
sharp
hands,
jab.
you know. They're with Larry Maxson, Team 515, all those guys, they come to fight. D-Rock just joined the roster with the UFC.
He sure did.
Matt Snell and Andrew KGB Lee.
Nobody deserves it more.
Man.
Big overhand right. Good action here.
Here we go. Chris seems to be feeling his way out.
Nice long punches from Chris Keeton.
Let's see if Blane can keep his composure here. Blane seems to be just a step off in his rhythm. He doesn't seem to be in his full rhythm here.
Blane doing a good job after maybe getting clipped and hurt. He grabs an underhook and establishes position. Looks like he's working for a takedown.
Regain his composure. This is Blane Wallace's first fight. Like you said,
amateur debut. This kid's sharp.
That's right. I know. The composure here is what's impressing me. He was hurt a little bit by that shot. He's slowing things down so that he can regain control.
It's wonderful being a part of this region and just seeing how it continues to grow and flourish. And you know, with people like Derek and Andrea and myself, and you know, continuing to push the barriers, you're going to see more young talent come out of this area, and it's very exciting.
Absolutely, it's fun.
Nice first round. Hard to say who won that one.
Back and forth. I feel like Blane probably was the lesser in that round. He wasn't as he was keeping the good tempo on the feet, but as the round seemed to go on, it seemed like Chris was a little more comfortable, a little more of the aggressive.
Agreed, and we had that moment where Chris may have hurt Blane, but great fight. Again, great matchmaking. This looks like a evenly matched fight. Good stuff. As
a judge, I would give it to Chris, but you know, as a spectator, I wouldn't say either guy is losing the fight at this point.
Agreed.
If that makes any sense. Still anybody's game. Blane Wallace. There's Kevin Aguilar in his corner, UFC fighter, Kevin Aguilar. And Kevin's so cool. That backwards hat. Let's do this.
Round two starting now.
Round two. See if Blane Wallace can find a rhythm here in this fight. Looked like he just wasn't able to find it yet, but comes out a little more aggressive here. Makes something happen.
Great composure by Chris Keeton, kind of keeping a level head.
I think he feels good, confident that he won that first round. You can tell he seems to be relaxing a little bit. Blane Wallace pushing the pace.
Blane Wallace firing nice, crisp shots right down the middle. Big right hand
Body
scores
lock
for Chris
again.
Keeton on the way in.
Good
Blane
shot.
grapples. Double underhook.
Quick to that body lock, looking to get him down. We're working here right up on the cage in front of us.
Blane needs to keep his feet and his hips engaged here rather than pushing and pulling away. Get his hips underneath him. Maybe he can finish this takedown. But again, Chris Keeton has a very interesting build to him, and I think it really helps him keep his balance and stay in good positions.
And definitely a stout-looking fellow there. Able to gain the control. There we go. Blane was unsuccessful with the takedown there. Oh, and then got taken down himself.
Nice timing by Chris Keeton.
That was nice.
Blane with a little busted nose here. Continues to fight on tough.
Doesn't seem hurt. Just anxious to make something happen, it looks like.
Again, Blane doing a good job of building back to his feet immediately as they hit the floor. He never lets Chris establish the position before he keeps moving. And, you know, as a guy watching a kid making his debut, I can't help but be extremely impressed, even though he's fighting through bad positions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, again, we're looking at the athlete. The athleticism of Chris Keeton seems to be too much for Blane Wallace to overcome.
He is very athletic, but he has good timing too, and he's doing a lot of things correct. Both of his double leg takedowns have been off of extremely well-timed moments, and yeah, kid's sharp too.
Oh, what do we got here?
Blane Wallace showing off a guard.
Posturing up here. He's posturing up. Is he defending?
Chris Keaton's corner warning him against the posture here, and that's exactly what he needs to pay attention to as
this posture. Is he
Blane breaks it
off here with the. I think he's fine. Let's see here if Chris can keep his composure to be able to fight it off.
See a little space here in the foot positioning. I like to have it a little tighter down, but this is a tight triangle. It could be in.
Man. See what we got. He's trying to finish it off.
You see how his foot is pointed a little bit. I like it to be up on the shin, and that way I know that the triangle is completely closed down. That's the only thing I'm really seeing. And there he kind of makes an adjustment. Toes in the fence.
Toes in the fence. Is he going to finish it? Is Chris going to survive?
Chris Keeton looking like he's got gills.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, there we go.
And the round ends.
Blane Wallace was making a move there right at the end.
I think Chris was definite. What toughness he looks a little weary here. So you gotta think that choke was in there. It was in. It was tight.
Oh, that was a tight triangle.
He could have certainly tapped, and he didn't. And
for sure.
Respect.
And knowing that Blane was back in the down on the round, you know he was really digging for that.
I wonder how educated the refs are here, because I would actually the round was tough, and though Chris scored there at the end, I could argue that the most dangerous thing that happened in the entire round was that triangle. And if they weren't saved by the bell, then that triangle would have been finished. So it's kind of nuanced, but I would say Blane took that round.
Depending on how you look at it, he was close, but, you know, there's almost only counting horseshoes and hand grenades.
Agreed.
Is that what we're looking at here? It depends on how the referee wants to go with it. Chris Keeton did have the more, as from a fan perspective, the bigger takedown. You know, that gets that awe factor. Depends on where you're looking at from there. But still, from both guys, it seems to be a very technical fight at this point.
Very competitive fight. It's anybody's fight, and I think either of these guys can finish either one of each other at this point.
Round 3. Let's see what we're going to get here. We never like them to go to the judges. We always like to see a finish.
Chris Keeton looking to be the more tired of the two, kind of leaned up on the fence. As a coach, I would tell my guy, hey, bruh, stand up straight.
Yeah, don't show no weakness. You know, that's what you want to go with. But maybe he wants to let the other guy know that think that he's weak, and he's really not. Let's see. He looks a little tired.
He looks tired, but
with the good jab.
Firing sharp punches.
Let's see where we go here. Blane seems to be heavy on that jab. He's not really letting the hands go, though. Here we go with the little 1-1-2 action.
Right on cue.
There we go. Work those knees.
Knee to the body.
It's going to look like a different round here from Blane. He's got to gain some ground.
It looks like Chris has had the wind sucked out of his sails a little bit. Blane obviously in phenomenal shape and putting a pace on Chris Keeton right now.
Chris was more of the aggressor in the first and second round, you know, but a lot of times trying to fight off like that triangle submission, there's not a lot of room to breathe in there, you know. he survived, but with what left,
Chris
doesn't look like
Chris
much.
looking extremely tired, and he needs to understand that Blane's going to accelerate here, and
That's right.
if he's not careful, he could get finished.
Blane coming to finish this fight. Be sad to see for Chris Keeton to lose after the first 2 rounds.
Blaine
But
seeking in the rear naked choke. He's already feeding it in,
the
punching
game
it
that
in.
we have.
Palm to palm. This is in. This is in deep.
How do we have it?
It's going to be over.
Tap. Blane Wallace with the finish.
With the comeback win.
With
Impressive debut by Mr. Blane Wallace.
17-year-old Blane Wallace making his debut here in Shreveport, Louisiana. That was impressive.
Had to come through some adversity too. I mean, wasn't winning that fight. Had some bad moments, but showed some great stuff. Good pace. Hey, I'm excited to watch this young man continue on in his career. He's got a bright future.
Absolutely. And then coming from the 515 guys, you see him right there with Kevin Aguilar, Brant Moore. That's just how those guys come to fight.
Tough and gritty performance
Every
by
time.
Blane Wallace. And, Chris Keeton had great moments, too. I think he needs to work on the gas tank, work on his poker face a little bit.
Absolutely.
You can't come out in here in the 3rd round and be completely deflated like that.
That's
A
right.
guy like Blane Wallace, he'll smell that. He'll pounce every time.
This was a turtle in the hair.
Stoppage to the action at 1 minute, 24 seconds in the 3rd and final round. Declaring your winner, Blane Wallace.